that you were also a JNU-ite.
And good evening to all.
Not JNU type.
Well, I don't wear it on my sleeve. Sometimes I have to apologize for being a JNU-ite, but be that as it may. There is, a lot of facts that Ashutosh and others have put forth cannot be argued with. Let me tell you, it is not anybody's argument that BBC was ignorant of the fact that Supreme Court had reached a conclusion, that those conclusions were reached basis an SIT by an eminent investigator, Raghavan, that there were amicus curiae, that there were courts, magistrates, evidences, all kinds of things were done in the last 20 years. This entire process has been done to death. There is nothing new in the BBC documentary, as Ashutosh says. I completely agree with it. But yet, BBC has succeeded. And I'll tell you where. The problem is, when you are not comfortable with a kind of image that has got stuck to you, and you are busy airbrushing that image with higher perversions to the secular concept than ever seen before. When you are busy trying to bend over backwards, trying to clean up that, the enemy figures that this is your soft underbelly. Enemy figures that this is where you can be put on a back foot. Your enemies have figured that today the weakest point in your psyche is to push you, is to nudge you on your secular credentials. And when they bring this up, irrespective of facts, irrespective of court judgments, irrespective of investigations and all kinds of processes you've been through, they manage to rattle you. And it is everybody knows that banning is counterproductive. Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses was probably the most discussed and the best known book of the previous century, primarily because of death threats and banning. So when you do similar such things of blocking, banning or discouraging or contesting, then you are giving grist to it, you are fanning it further and hurting yourself more and bearing the fact that you are vulnerable on this ground, that you are not comfortable with the image that you have garnered over the last 20 years, and that you've been busy airbrushing this image, and that is the place where you could be pinned, that is the place where you could be pushed, and that is the place where you could look nervous, look rattled, look uncomfortable. This is where BBC has succeeded, and this is where this entire storm that is gathered around this documentary seemed to be making an impact.